and welcome to Bethan's Kitchen and Garden. It's time to do the May tour of what I've got going on at the moment, which isn't a lot. There's quite a lot in the greenhouse ready to go out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the videos now. So I'll do a greenhouse tour separately to the plot tour, because it'll just go on forever otherwise. So I'm starting off in my neighbour's garden, and I'll show you what's occurring. There is a spoiler alert, there are lots of weeds around, so let's go and see what's happening. So this is my neighbour's patch that she allows me to grow in. I've got some onions over here. They're bulbing up fairly nicely now. I have high hopes for these. These are called High Keeper, and I've got some carrots growing next to them, but these carrots are going to be no good because that's a really thick stem, which means that the flowers go into seed. If I left this in, there'd be a seed head on there soon. But they're no good for eating because the cores of them are hard, so that's no good really. And over here are some more onions. These are the Ailsa Craig, and some of them are doing well, but I don't think they're doing as well as the High Keeper. But the High Keeper are an F1, so I should expect them to perform better. The peas, you'll have seen me plant yesterday. They seem quite happy there. I've got 3 cabbages here. This one is hearting up, quite nice. It has been blown about in the wind. And those are the lettuces you will have seen me plant as well. So it was only in the last vlog, so I won't dwell too much on them. And here's some more onions. These are the Ailsa Craig ones, which are doing well. I've got some spring onions here in amongst the weeds. They are doing well as well. These are multi-sown onions, which I might just take as spring onions. And I've got some radish, which I started to harvest in the last vlog, and they were nice. They were nice radish. And my broad beans, I've got some pods on them, but they do all need to be restaked because they just need to hold up there. But I won't have a chance to do it today because we are off to Wales. And I nearly forgot to show you the strawberries I planted about a week ago. A lot of them have come through really, and they're looking strong. I'm not entirely sure whether that is a strawberry plant or I've planted a weed, to be honest. But I'm happy with this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to intercrop some multi-sown leeks in this area and see if the leeks grow, because I don't think these are going to establish very much this year. They'll probably grow a lot underneath the ground, and next year hopefully we'll get a good crop from them. So that's my plan for there. As I come into the driveway, I've got my trees rather, in pots. This is a cherry. There's no sign of anything growing on there yet. And I've got some carrots in tubs which were in my neighbour's greenhouse, but I put them there, and they're doing much better for being outside. Then this is an apple tree which has got little apples coming on them, which is great. I'm not sure if I need to cut off some of these apples. I don't know if it's too crowded for the tree, but I'll have to do a bit of research because these are patio growing trees, so I'm not sure if it's all right for them to have, you know, that sort of that amount of fruit on them. Down here I've got some Nymphophea, which is not doing anything at all really. I've got some pansies that I need to sort out. I've got this cherry tree. I won't go up much higher because the sun is right there, but there's no sign of anything on the cherry tree yet either. And I've got this little bug that my daughter loves. It lights up in the dark, which is lovely. Down here, the skipper's gone, hooray! I've got some pots that have just gone over, so they need clearing out, and then I can plant them with some crops for this season. And again, this is another apple tree, which has got some nice spurs growing on them, or fruit coming rather. If I come down from the apple trees to the grapevines, there's not much. Well, I mean, there's lots of growth, but there's no sign of any fruit forming yet. And this one gives out loads of growth, but I haven't had fruit off this for a long time, so I'm going to see how this goes this year, and it might be for the chop. Just down from the grapevine is my Josterberry bush, which has fruit growing on it, which is great. This is its second year. It didn't have any fruit last year, but this year it seems to be doing really well. And if we come back to the gooseberries back here, they got some decent sized gooseberries growing on there too. This bush is a really good grower. It was left in the back garden when we took over, and it was like one stem that was really poorly rather, and I moved it to the allotment when I had the allotment, and it's done really well, and it just keeps, like under here there's just loads and loads of fruit under there, so that's good. This one, it does grow fruit, but it doesn't get as big as that other one, but any fruit is welcome, isn't it? So that's good. My red currants, the other side has some, oh there we are, look, there's some currants showing up there, which is good. And my black currants over here, I've got fruit forming as well. So this is I won't show you every fruit bush because I've just shown you gooseberries, red currants and black currants, which is all that's really in here. And the rhubarb has come back strong as well, because I did pick rather a lot of it, but there's still loads there to pick. A rose is lovely. That gives out a lovely scent, really nice scent of oranges. My hanging baskets, they need a bit of attention. They're not doing so well anymore. They have been there all winter though. And down here I have some peas that probably need picking really, but I'll be away this week. They're not quite formed yet anyway, those ones, but there are a couple that probably need picking, so I'll do that when I come back. The beetroot that you'll have seen me plant a few vlogs ago is that's growing well here. The rain I think has really helped, and that beetroot there is doing well too. And the beetroot in this bed, now I've taken the cabbages away, they are doing well as well. So I'm not quite so concerned about this soil now, but I will be planting potatoes in here for Erica's challenge. My shallots have got their gnome hats on, which means they are bolting. So I'll probably take them out soon and I might try dehydrating them and see how I get on with that. If I come round to here, I've put some lettuce in, and I dropped the side on this bed so I could use it for something else. And the reason I did sort of the raised bed here, like a two-step sort of bed, was I was worried that the asparagus, when it really grows well, will drown out the will shade this bit too much, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I might drop it all down so it's all at one level, and I'll make it out of brick when I get the chance. My Swiss chard is doing well, although it is beginning to bolt, and my mustard is putting out the seed pods. So I've never picked this before, but I assume you just empty out the pods when they're ready. And if I just come around to here, you can see the asparagus is growing well. I'm very pleased with that. It's hopefully there'll be a few more spears coming through. I haven't taken a harvest from here this year. Again, I'm just leaving it to put all this energy into the root. And then if I come around to here, this not cherry, this is a plum, and I've got some good potential on here. That's looking good. This is my tea. I like a variety of tea, but I need to take a good harvest and cook with it, really. You know, I need to put it in the oven and dehydrate the leaves, and then see what kind of tea I get from there. And then I haven't shown you my strawberry shelves yet. So I did manage to get these done a few weeks ago, and the idea of these shelves are when the strawberries are done, I can replace the strawberries with different pots. Whether that will happen or not, I don't know, but I've still got some spare strawberries there as well, and they are having lots of flowers on them, so hopefully all these will turn into strawberries, which will be great. That will be the best strawberry harvest I'll have had if all those come through. I'm very pleased with the shelves that I've done. These pot raspberries, beginning to have some raspberries showing now. I need to give all these a big feed, and I've got some more raspberry pots here and some apples growing there. And then the blueberries, there's not an awful lot going on this plant. It's taken a while to get going, that one. It was only planted last year though as a little baby, and a lot of the blossom has fallen off now, but hopefully some fruit will grow from there. And my poor Camellia sinensis is not looking great, although it does seem to be a lot better in the sunshine we've had the last day or so. And then the raspberries have gone bonkers like they do, and I've got some raspberries forming there as well. Now we're in the back garden, and I've had a tidy up. I've got a messy corner over there. We always have a messy corner, don't you? And this is all more or less ready now to be planted. I've made a start over here, but we'll have a look at these containers here. So the carrots have come through, a bit sporadic really in the germination, but they're not too bad. We will have some carrots hopefully. My parsnips, which you may have seen me plant in a previous vlog, they have come up, and I've thinned them out. And even though I put 2 seeds per station, not every station came to something, so I'm kind of glad I did that. And then the radish that I direct sowed, that's doing well too. And then the radish which I transplanted, that I grew in clumps, that's doing well as well. That's growing on well. And you can see the parsnips there. They're loving this warm weather, although they actually love the cold and the wet as well. That brought things on too. And maybe you can see more developed carrots there, because they got their true leaves there. The other ones are a bit further behind really. And the leeks are thickening as well, so that's good. And I think you saw me plant these out a couple of weeks ago, and they are establishing well. You can see they are growing quite well. And then over here I've put in 2 courgette plants of the same variety, and then these are dwarf balotti beans, or they're called balotto beans, but they're dwarf balottis. And I got some hostas here and some Acer plants there, and that's my one remaining purple sprouting broccoli plant, because all the others had gone to flower. So I plan to move those pots that are there, because that's on an inspection drain, and if I fill that with compost, then we won't be able to move them if I ever need to get into the inspection drain. So the Acers and the hostas will then go where those are, and that tub is going to go at the front of my drive, at the top of the drive, with some climbing beans, and the tub next to it is just going to go behind that purple sprouting broccoli on the gravel. And I'm going to put some climbing beans in there as well, in like a teepee, so it'll go sort of here-ish. I think that will look nice. Got a rose bush here. I took out a load of oxeye daisies from my garden because they just grew so big that they were drowning everything out. So that's why there's patches here and in the other beds. I'll show you as we go along. But my blackberries are beginning to form as well. What is this one? I think this is a pear, because it's further behind than all the others. Let's have a look down here. Oh no, that's an apple. So there's no, well, this is a duo one, so it's got 2 varieties on the one plant. So that side is growing, and this side is not. Well, it's growing, you know, but it hasn't produced anything yet. So come down to here, and my lupins are just like gorgeous really, aren't they? I'm not a huge flower fan, but I am getting more into my flowers now. And I got another blackberry there, but I do need to move this lupin over a bit because it is drowning out the blackberry, and the idea of the blackberries was to have them trailing where the wires are, and that's not really happening. So you can see that's where I took out an oxeye daisy the other day. I haven't even filled in the compost from the hole it left, and this poor little lupin over here was really drowned out by the oxeye daisy. You can see that where the oxeye daisy just flops when the weather was bad, so it's obviously flopped onto the poor lupin and like mangled the lupin. And there's another blackberry bush. And which one are you? You are, this is a plum. So there's nothing doing on this plum at the moment. And I've just got to tidy this area. I haven't quite decided whether I'm going to have a set of shelves in there like I did in the front with the strawberries, or I might put shelves and a bed for climbers in there, I think. And if we come around to here, my peas, they have got some beginning to grow on them. These are Meteor, so they should be doing well. This is a pot. I need to just put the flowers into this flower bed. Again, this flower bed is looking a bit sparse where I've taken out the oxeye daisies, but it looks so much better for having that done. Can anyone spot another bug here? This is my son's bug. Grows up in the night. It does look quite nice out here in the night. This is a pear tree that has never really given me any fruit, and this side I can say I think that's absolutely dead. There's nothing growing on there. So what I need to do is in the winter I need to saw that bit off there to leave that, and then this one here will then become the main leader. But I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but never mind. The carrots in here are doing well. These are probably the more advanced ones, but I think I planted them slightly earlier as well. And the leeks are definitely thickening up in this one. My figs, my poor figs, don't get any attention whatsoever, and you can tell because there's hardly anything growing on them. I mean, there's foliage, but they should all really be laden with that, but they're not. And there's another one over there as well. And my chickens have come to say hello. Have you got any eggs in there for us girlies? Right, this is another plum. And there are plums there. Now, this tree, I've never had a plum from this tree. It usually gets to about that size and then the plums just shrivel up and go. I mean, that's not a great amount, is it? There's not any anywhere else from... Oh yes, there is. There's one there. So hopefully I might get a couple of plums off that. And I haven't really shown you the pathway we've completed, this gravel pathway here. And the seating area is kind of a work in progress. So we've got the gravel on there. It just needs a bit more like pots and a bit of tidying up done around the place, and dare I say strimming needs to happen over here, but I think my husband is now too afraid to use the strimmer. And I've got leaf mould in those bags there, which are usually behind the shed. And then this bed here, which I did at the start of this year, it just needs a top cover of compost and drop the sides down, and then I'll be able to plant up my sprouts and some overwintering veg in this area here. And then I've finally got most of my potatoes in. I only did a lot of them this week, but some of them that I planted earlier are now coming through, so that's great. My first earlies down there are coming along now, and my sunflowers, sunchokes, that's it, artichokes, they are growing well, so hopefully I'll be able to site them somewhere where they will look pretty as they grow, because they give out flowers like sunflowers. And as usual, I nearly forgot the garlic bed, and I totally forgot about this bed for growing in later in the season as well, so I found myself with a bit more space that I can fill, so that's great. I have high hopes for this garlic because it's quite thick. It doesn't mean that it's grown well underneath. I have been lulled like this before, but they are definitely thicker than I've grown in the past. So hopefully we'll get a good crop of garlic from them. and my shallots, they are they've got their gnome hats on as well, so they're bolting too. And then finally we need to turf all this area up here, because it's just, the grass just grows a bit patchy. The tayberries, I need to sort out this bed as well, but the tayberries are growing really strong, so I'm hoping to get a lot of tayberries off here, which will be great, because at the moment I have no blackberries really, because they're not growing that well. I need to do something more with this bed as well. So there you have it. That is what is growing on in my garden at the moment, or not growing really, because there's not a lot in the ground. But I will do my greenhouse tour next, and you can see that I have plants just waiting to get into the ground. They're practically jumping into the ground now we got this nice weather. I shudder to think how big they'll have grown if the weather continues like this by the time I come back next week. But hopefully they'll be really established then, and they can just get in the ground and get growing, which would be great. So that's it from me for today. I hope you enjoyed looking around at the beds and the potential that could be there. And I'll catch you next time. All I can say about my work today is lovely job. Well, I didn't actually do any work, did I? I just sauntered around with the camera showing you what's going on. But anyway, thank you for watching, liking and subscribing if you've done so, and commentating. It's very much appreciated. Take care everybody, and I'll catch you next time.